we have Ellen Roberts and Bruce Whitehead. These are our candidates for Senate District Number 6. As we did in the previous hour, I'll share their biographical information with you first, beginning with Ellen Roberts. Representative Ellen Roberts was elected state representative for House District 59, covering much of southwest Colorado in November 2006. Ellen ran unopposed in 2008. She served 2 years on the State House Judiciary Committee as ranking member and has been a part of the House Republican leadership team since arriving at the Capitol. Currently, Ellen is the ranking minority member of the Health and Human Services Committee and a member of the Finance Committee and the Legislative Legal Services Committee. In January 2009, Representative Roberts was appointed by House Republican leader Mike May to serve on the Special Task Force on Economic Recovery. Ellen has been an attorney since 1986 and was in private practice for over 20 years, working with small businesses and with individuals on their estate planning. Ellen received a Bachelor of Science degree from the Colorado College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Cornell University in 1981 and a law degree from the University of Colorado in 1986. She is the mother of 2 young adults, Caitlin and Ben, and her husband of 27 years, Rick, is a general contractor in the Durango area. Locally, Ellen is on the First National Bank of Durango Board of Directors, is a past chairwoman of the Board of Mercy Regional Medical Center, and is a past officer and member of many local community groups. Join me in welcoming Ellen Roberts. Next we have Bruce Whitehead. Senator Bruce Whitehead is a Colorado native born in Fort Collins. He has served as the state senator for District 6 since August 2009. Committee assignments include transportation and the Senate Agriculture and Natural Resource Committee, where he serves in the leadership role as chair. He also serves on the Interim Water Resources Review Committee and was appointed as the Senate Ag Committee representative on the Interbasin Compact Committee and board member of the Colorado Foundation for Water Education. Senator Whitehead was named the 2010 Pinnacle Award recipient with an A+ rating from the Colorado Farm Bureau. Bruce has an extensive background in Colorado water issues, which included employment as the executive director of the Southwestern Water Conservation District, as well as 25 years with the Colorado Division of Water Resources. The latter part of his career with the state of Colorado was in the capacity of division engineer for the San Juan and Dolores Rivers. Prior to his appointment to the Senate, Bruce was a director on the Colorado Water Conservation Board and serves as an engineer advisor for the Upper Colorado River Commission. Senator Whitehead obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering from Colorado State University and is a licensed professional engineer. He and his wife, Becca, are raising 2 daughters, Isabel, age 11, and Rissa, 9 years old, that are active in sports, music, and 4-H. The family lives south of Hesperus near Bree. Join me in welcoming Bruce Whitehead. Candidates have drawn to determine their speaking order. We'll begin with the opening statements from Bruce Whitehead, please. 2 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here, and thank you especially to the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum. It's great for you to get to know your candidates for the Senate District 6. I just have to mention before we start too much that I do live south of Hesperus and Breen and came over Lizard Head Pass today. And after living all my life in Colorado, it never ceases to amaze me how beautiful the colors are out there right now. So if you haven't gone yet, you should go out this weekend. There should be a wonderful sight. With that, I've been in public service over 28 years of my life, but I had never sought or held public office prior to taking the appointment to the state senate. I was asked to consider the appointment based on my ability to work with very diverse groups and to work across party lines to resolve difficult issues. We've been asked to identify 3 issues of relevance to Montrose and the surrounding area. My first one would be water and agriculture. The Gunnison Tunnel was punched through here almost 100 years ago. I was here last year for the celebration that turned this fertile valley into a very productive agricultural area. We need to do what we can to protect those water rights and to continue agriculture and avoid the buy up and drive of agricultural lands. The second is jobs and the economy. I've been asked a number of times since the session has ended in May about what we're going to do for small business. My answer was we've had a number of town meetings, actually 20 that we met throughout the district since we were out, and we brought forth a small business forum. There will be one in Montrose and one in Ridgeway next week, and I encourage you to attend. The third is education. K through 12 education and education of our children, I believe, is the foundation of our future. And we need to do what we can to protect the funding for our K through 12 education. We cut almost $260 million last year. Additional cuts will have a crippling effect on our future, I believe. So currently they've had about a 6% cut. There's been some talk about an additional 10% across the board. I don't know that our school districts can operate, and we need to protect education for our future.
Thank you. Ellen?
Thank you. I too want to thank the league for doing this. This feels a little bit like the dating game, especially when you hear your bio being read off. So, and in many ways, I think it is like the dating game. This is your chance to ask us questions and hold us accountable, not only tonight, but whoever gets elected. What we say here should extend to what we do at the Capitol. So I have been at the State House for the last 4 years. I'm not a career politician. I actually had a career before I went to the legislature. But this is a critical time in our state's future and in our country's future. And what it means is that people have to step forward to take on the difficult task. I was listening to the House candidates before, and I appreciate their points of view, and they've got a lot of great points in there, but when you sit in the seat and you have to make those votes, that is, the rubber meets the road. I heard discussion that, well, we don't have that bad a taxing in the state. Well, I would say that we need to look at what we're doing in this state, because we've driven business out. Under the Ritter administration this past year, a number of bills were passed that I believe created a very anti-business environment. I have a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old. I, as a selfish mother, would like to see my kids continue to live in the state of Colorado. Someday they're going to have their grandchildren. I'd like them close by. But the way that's going to happen is for them to have jobs, for us to have a state where people can work. It is a beautiful place, but as someone who's lived on the Western Slope for 30 years, I totally believe you can't eat the scenery. So I think it's critically important that Colorado turns the economy around in the state, and the way we do this is we let business do the work. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open it up for questions. I'll begin with questions from the audience.
That was quick. Good night, everybody.
Please state your name first.
Sandra Tyler. I've lived in Montrose County now for 5 years. So I guess you could say I'm a baby compared to both of you. Would you please respond to the comments made about support of healthcare coverage for firefighters?
We'll begin with Bruce.
Could you repeat the question? I could barely hear that.
Okay. The question was to respond about the comments that have been made about health care for firefighters.
Thank you. Actually, I don't know what comments have been made, and so I don't know whether we can go into that, but I would just say that I think it is important that we take care of our firefighters. Those folks are putting their life on the line every day out there, and I believe that they do deserve benefits in the future. And one of those is health care that they have to have, and probably a retirement that will get them through their later years in life. I think they earn a wage. It's probably not enough for what the job they are doing and the risks they are taking on a daily basis representing or protecting us. But again, I believe that there should be health care for firefighters.
Thank you. Ellen?
Well, I thank you very much for asking the question, and I do know what she's talking about because I've been the subject of a serious attack campaign since September 3rd, and my voice shakes a little bit because I take this very hard. What has happened is a number of mailers have been put out and radio and TV ads as well that have been attacking me by a Democratic group called 21st Century Colorado. I am a strong supporter of fire districts, firemen, and what I have been attacked for is voting no on a bill that had to do with a workers' comp system if any firefighter had cancer, that they would become part of the workers' comp system. Cities across the state of Colorado said, we cannot afford this. This is really going to drive up workers' comp. There is health insurance, disability insurance. Absolutely, I want firefighters covered. But this was driven by a union, firefighters union in Denver, and I stood up to it and I said no, knowing full well someday this could come to haunt me on a political campaign, but I believe in standing up. Thank you.
Thank you. Bruce, would you like to respond?
Yes, I would like to respond. Again, I think that firefighters are entitled to benefits, and I don't know where that came from. Ellen referenced 21st century Colorado and being a democratic, I assume must be a 527. 527s are what we call the soft side of the campaign, that we don't have any input into one way or the other. You may see mailers go out in favor of certain candidates or opposed to certain candidates, and it's hard for us to control that as part of the campaign.
Thank you. Ellen?
Well, and again, I'm going to reiterate my support for firefighters, but I would say go and look at the campaign finance reports and see where our donations come in from. And when they come in from unions, to the extent that they do in my opponent's case, that will give you a very clear message. Again, I feel firefighters risk their lives. We want to be appropriate, but I also want to listen to the people on the ground, the local people. And when they say, and in this case, I believe the fire chiefs were neutral. So when the fire chiefs are neutral, that sends a message to me. I am here to support, again, firefighters, but we have to be fiscally responsible. And when we keep letting special interests step in and tell us at the legislature what we're going to do and increase costs, we have to stand up.
Thank you.